Welcome back and welcome to Houdini. This is a quick tip video to show us how to bake a view transform here from our correction toolbar into our file export when we are exporting through a USD render ROP. I'll give you the quick answer and then I'll walk you through how to set it up using our network we've created from the last video. So we'll drop down to Karma Render Settings node. And here, remember, this defines the settings for our image output. We're going to go to Image Output, Filters, Tone Map, ACES. And then if you export as usual, that will bake the ACES transform here into your file export. So now to continue and set this up from where we were in the last video, we're going to go down here to our render settings. We're going to duplicate these nodes with Alt Drag, move them to the side, and then we're going to rename our output picture. So remember, this is the file path on disk where our image is going to be saved, to export underscore $OS, so operator string, which is the name of the current node, which right now is Karma Render Settings 1, but we want to name it to default color. And now we'll export this image using the USD render ROP. We'll render that to disk, which will save this image to disk without any of the transform applied. And now we'll Alt drag again to duplicate these nodes. And then in the Karma Render settings, we will go to Image Output, Filters, Tone Map, ACES. And you can see it changed here in our scene view. We're going to rename this to default color. We're going to rename this to ACES color. If I can type there. ACES color. Now we're going to save this ROP, save this image again with our ROP, our USD render ROP, our render operator. And then we'll give it a second to load, and then we will load it in as a background image. So it looks like the first render finished. So double click or hit the file name and accept to load it in. Remember tools, edit background images to move these around and to scale, make them larger and smaller. Now we're going to wait for our second render. Awesome. Looks like it just finished up. Export ACES color. And now if we turn off these yellow squares by using tools, edit background images, we can zoom in and see the color transform has been correctly applied to our file on export. So again, what we had before was our raw render being exported. And now what we've done is we've applied this transform ACES onto the file export. Now another way of working is to use the raw render and then transform that later using either DaVinci Resolve, After Effects, or Nuke. But for a quick tip and a quick export here, this is a perfectly fine way to do it. Awesome. So if you're curious about how we set this up, this is the next quick tip video from a lesson we just covered that introduces Houdini from scratch, so no experience required, and walks us through workflows, frameworks to apply to our projects, how to organize and how Houdini works through networks, an introduction to the context in Houdini, the Solaris stage context, and even some SOPs modeling. And then we implement and review a few different networks. These two networks here, and actually the project files do come with the lesson. So we'll kind of learn a little bit about how Houdini works and how shots are set up. So awesome. Thank you for your time, and we'll see you in the next video.